Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Paige Show. So today is all about noticing your surroundings. I had a cool story I wanted to share. I was sitting in car line waiting to pick up my kids, and I am always trying to look outside and notice what's happening. Some of it from just observation to know that my surroundings are safe, but also just, kind of connect in where I can in moments of quietness with motherhood. We know how that can be. And I noticed these crows on top of the light pole in the parking lot, and they're just kind of being crows, funny to watch. I love that bird actually as well. And then a hawk just swoops in and completely removes them from their post. And it wasn't even that big of a hawk. These crows / ravens were huge, and this little hawk just flies in and they completely give him or her space. And the hawk's just sitting there like, yep, I own this pole now. And the birds start trying to dive towards the hawk, and they're flying erratically around him, and they're making all these crazy noises, and went from very calm to not calm. And then these other pair of birds, a totally different breed, comes in, and they're like doing the same thing. They're trying to shake this hawk to scare it or to get it to move. And the hawk's just like chilling, looking around like, yeah, I see you, but I don't care. And it did not move. It was not moved. And those are the words I wanted you to hear today. And so that day that I'm sitting in the parking lot came on the tail end of, a lot of stuff up in the air for me in my life right now. And just, a normal day of balancing life and business and all of the things. And it was my one time to I realized watching the birds had kind of centered me for the day. It was my breath for that moment. And I am very, very in tune to animal energy. My shamanic background gets me down the path of spirit guides and spirit animals and just the spirit of animals in general, or nature, or our surroundings. And so I'm really big in noticing my surroundings, and maybe sometimes we're not needed taking meaning from them, but I do believe that it's all meaningful. So I have had examples in my life where I was having a bad day or a happy joyous day, or had been trying to manifest things, any of the things, and I have an animal that just appears, whether it's a dragonfly that is nowhere near water and you're like, where is this coming from? It's always been or praying mantis. That's a huge one for me as well. But it's always been these occurrences that you can't deny, that it's coming to you for a reason, that there's something you need to get from that, whether it's the location or the timing or whatever. And if you're connected or noticing your surroundings, you'll look into this. It's really easy. It's called Google. Because I can't remember or memorize all the meanings of everything either. But I know that there is meaning. And so when I notice a occurrence like that in my life, I talk about it in my series, Divine Downloads, I will look it up. I'll see, hey, is there an answer coming to me with this? And so I saw the hawk on the post, and I started to notice, its reaction to everything that was chaotic around it. And that's how my day had felt. And I started to see the symbolism of all these things trying to swoop down and get me or scare me or, knock me off my post or keep me from feeling safe or solid or secure, and all the symbolism that came from watching my surroundings and watching the interactions with these birds at that moment. But then I looked up the meaning of, and I know some basic meanings of crows and hawks. I work with their medicine a lot, but I still felt like I needed to look it up that day because there was a deeper message. And when I did, it completely connected all the dots of the message from the divine for me in that moment. And I looked up the raven energy and the hawk energy separately, but then I looked up how they work together or work against each other, much of like what I was watching happen before my eyes. And it just opened up a world of connection and symbolism for me. And it was like a literal answer to prayer. So we often think we're not being heard or seen. The divine, God, whatever you label that, is so intangible sometimes. It feels like it's something that's outside of us, but it's really always inside of us. We are the divine, right? That light or consciousness. And so in moments like this, when we're really in a physical experience moment, but we tap in, we take a second to step outside and ourselves, even to notice a bird on a pole. It really brings in and centers that divine energy that is us, to where you can pause, and it can be a breath for you for the day, a breath of fresh air for you, literally. It can ground you. It can get you to pause whatever's happening around you or in your mind at that time. And I got lost in watching the birds. You can get lost in the energy of your surroundings if you're paying attention, if you're seeing it as symbolism or synchronicities in your life. And then it can really lead down a completely different path than maybe you would have thought. So you have a couple of choices in life, is how I feel. You can always sit with what you're feeling and you can let it overcome you, or you can take moments when you're having a rough day and maybe anxiety or stress is winning in that moment. You can choose to use tools that are around you when you can't tap into the ones that are inside you, because I know different ways, multiple ways of grounding myself and not letting stress overtake me, but I'm also human and I'm a mom of 4 children. So you can imagine how that goes sometimes. So just being real, I have to pull from these experiences. Sometimes the bird on the light pole is the only thing that can ground me in that moment, because it caught my attention and it pulled me away from what I was experiencing in that seat, in my personal experience in that moment. And it really, really can do that. If you notice your surroundings, it can be a tree sometimes. It can be something as simple as a bug. Like, that's a cool bug. I've never seen that before. It could lead you down a path to Google. What does this bug mean? Or it looks like this. I don't know what it actually is. And what does this color of this type of bug mean? I mean, really, nature is our teacher, and colors can describe, different predatory or prey type characteristics of things, and that can be a message for you. And so the whole pay attention to your surroundings idea today came from just that it can take you out of what you're experiencing. It can be another tool that is outside of yourself to help ground you in moments of chaos. And it's really cool to experience the connection you can get when you pay attention to a hawk and you realize that you can use technology like Google to find the meaning of it. And so it's another example of how we are all connected. Even the technology advancements, they have their role in this consciousness and this higher or lighter vibration that we are trying to achieve. And something as simple as watching birds take over territories or light poles can really help ground you in that moment. And so take nothing for granted. If it comes to you, it could mean something, and take yourself down the path of discovery to see what the message could be for you today.